Hello, my name is Lebo, and today I'll be going over where the greatest risks are when it comes to flooding in Europe. And I'll also deep dive into the upcoming risk that is expected later this year in the autumn months. Last year, ICEYE monitored and provided flood data for about 40 flood events in Europe. These events hit Central Europe especially hard, with countries such as France, Great Britain, and Italy being hit with repeated flooding. Some countries, such as Poland, saw only one flood event in 2024. However, the size and the scale of this one event was large, with flood extents of over 1,000 square kilometers. This event, caused by Storm Boris, swept through Central and Eastern Europe, severely impacting countries like Poland, Czechia, and Austria. Originating over the North Atlantic, the storm reached Europe on September 12th and unleashed several days of relentless rain, winds, and widespread flooding. And tragically, at least 24 lives were lost. In many places, the rain that fell over just a few days equaled what would normally be expected over several months. Some areas recorded over 300 millimeters of rain. Southern Poland and Czechia were especially hard hit, facing catastrophic floods that persisted for days. Now, looking deeper into Storm Boris, the situation in the southwest of Poland quickly became critical. By the morning of September 14, several rivers had already reached warning levels. And in response, ICEYE stepped in, capturing 446 satellite radar images to monitor the flooding, from September 15th all the way to October the 8th. Now, using these images as the core, ICEYE Flood Insights provided actionable insights into the extent and the depth of the flood waters. Now, what you're seeing here is ICEYE Flood Insights in action. This data was delivered to the Polish Crisis Information Center within 24 hours of the flood's peak. Flood Insights provided clear, observational detail on both the flood extent as well as the flood depth, helping decision makers in Poland to understand the full scale of the disaster. This flood data was quickly distributed to frontline responders, which included the state fire service, some regional and local crisis management centers, a hydrological service, and military units, supporting really rapid and coordinated action. In the days that followed, ICEYE estimated that over 20,000 buildings were impacted by Storm Boris, with flood waters covering a total area of more than 1,870 square kilometers. Placing the focus back on Europe, when we zoom into detail about when these flood events occurred, we can clearly see that the months between September and November saw the highest impacts, with about total 19 floods hitting Europe in these months alone. And during these months, in 2024, devastating flood events occurred, such as the Dana storm that hit Spain and Storm Boris that hit Central and Eastern Europe. These two storms took a total of 200 lives and caused billions of euros in damages. Looking back at the flood patterns we saw in 2024, one thing is very clear, is that the risk of severe flooding is on the rise, especially during the months of September and November. With that in mind, now is the time for emergency management teams across Europe to ask themselves, do we have the right tools and the data in place to respond effectively? Having timely, reliable flood intelligence, such as ICEYE Flood Insights, can make all the difference when every minute counts. Preparing ahead with actionable insights means being ready to protect not only lives, but infrastructure and communities when the next flood hits. Don't wait for flooding to catch your country off guard. Book a demo with our flood solutions today and see how ICEYE can strengthen your country's resilience before the next disaster strikes. For further information on previous or upcoming storms, please do visit ICEYE.com and don't hesitate to reach out to us via the QR code on the screen.